Yeah, big boy. Interesting
I've never seen a more determined Brian Barbosa. I talked to him before the fight. He was as determined as anyone I've ever seen in my life.
Brian's a great kid.
Come on, Tony, baby.
Just as we said, Brian's trying to get inside. Come on inside where he's got his strength.
Good shot to the body by Barbosa. Barbosa coming in strong. Brian Barbosa on a mission. On a mission to get the respect he thinks he deserves. And to show his fans in Rhode Island what a great fighter he really is. And this is what's going to bring boxing back to Rhode Island. Quality fights. Good competition.
Nice body shot by
Nice body shot by Barbosa.
Oh, yeah, come on, Anthony.
As is to be expected during the first minute of the round, they're feeling each other out. Now it's the question of who's going to dominate the fight. This is scheduled for 6 rounds. Referee Charlie Dwyer does his usual good job watching the fighters. Yeah, now if McNeil keeps doing that, that's going to be a problem for Barbosa. If he keeps that straight left and dances away. It's like the old Sandy Saddler. Tall, string bead. You know, dominated Willie Pep with that same style. That straight left jab. Oh, Brian came in with a left hook that missed. As we know, Anthony McNeil has had 4 professional fights, 4 knockouts. And Brian's had 5 KOs out of his 10 wins, so this is going to be a very interesting fight. His trainers appearing very calm. McNeil has never hit the canvas in his professional career. Barbosa on a mission to prove himself.
The first thing that hit the canvas was his trunks. Did you see that? What a shot.
McNeil could not believe how hard he was hit by Brian Barbosa. Barbosa took this fight knowing he was fighting an undefeated fighter in his backyard. Before the fight, he said to me, I will not be deterred. I am going to prove the fighter that I am. He showed at that time. I can tell you, I think he's taken the heart out of McNeil. McNeil, undefeated, 55 amateur fights. And here we have Brian the Bull Barbosa. Leveled him with a left hook square on the chin. Fortunately for McNeil, the round ended. Round 2. McNeil almost landed in the lap of the ring of the commissioner of boxing for Rhode Island. Almost went completely out of the ring.
He looks like his eyes are clear. He's back, but that certainly got his attention.
Now, Brian's
going to keep himself.
This is exactly what the fans came to see. This is exactly what the quality fights, good fighters. Here's McNeil back after being knocked down, still fighting, showing his poise, and showing a lot of courage, incidentally.
Oh, sure. Ooh. We got it right above us here, Frank.
As they're above us, McNeil comes back.
Charlie Dwyer almost caught that one.
Dwyer gave a little grin as if to say, I'm not fighting this fight, I'm only refereeing it. Overhand right by Barbosa.
Brian looks indestructible right now, doesn't he?
I must tell you, Brian's the same weight as Ray Healy, Tom Gallipo, and Carlos de Jesus. And there's going to be a box-off here, and we're going to have one main event for the winner of the eliminations. Barbosa missed that left hook, which was the same hook that put Anthony McNeil down. Good left to the midsection by Barbosa.
Anthony's got his hands full tonight.
Another terrific good right to the midsection. Overhand left. As Brian is relentless in the corner on Anthony McNeil. Overhand right, overhand left, lefts and rights. Overhand right. McNeil goes down. McNeil is through the ropes. Barbosa comes to the neutral corner. Charlie Dwyer picks up the count at 5, 7, 8. McNeil signals that he's okay. His corner looks worried. They never expected a fight like this from this undefeated fighter. As we continue in round 2, as Brian the Bull Barbosa is relentless in his attack. Overhand right. McNeil comes back. Barbosa will not quit.
Brian's trying to end it.
Brian wants to end this fight right here.
Hey. I give Anthony McNeil a lot of credit for coming back from that shot.
I've told everyone this was going to be a war, and it's lived up to its reputation as a war. Well, we've had 2 rounds. McNeil's been down twice.
Still throwing. He's still throwing, but... Very entertaining to watch, isn't he, Frank? The little bull.
There's the end of round 2. There is the end of round 2. Let's look in the corner of Anthony McNeil. Undefeated fighter from the Bronx. Comes here to Providence. Thinks he's going to have a soft touch.
He's a kid who could have stayed down, Frank, and he came up.
Talked to his trainers yesterday. Talked to him. His trainer said to me very confidently, he says, we'll knock this guy out anytime we want. He says, my fighter, he says, is indestructible. He's 4-0. He knocked out all 4 people. But I'm telling you, see, that's the attitude that people have had about Rhode Island boxing, right? They don't know the quality of the fighters that we have here because we don't showcase our own fighters. Because our own fighters have to fight in places like casinos, and they have to go to far-off places, and they never get highlighted. And that's why Championship Productions is putting on these fights, so that great fighters can show their wares, and that everyone, like people like Brian the Bull Barbosa, who's now facing you today, can show you what he's got. Take on these quality fighters from out of state, and we can be recognized throughout the country. And we're going to be, Fred Barry.
I agree with you, Frank, 100%.
Round 3, Brian the Bull Barbosa in the striped trunks. Anthony McNeil in the yellow trunks.
Brian, I'm sure feels like he's in the driver's seat right now.
Well, Brian's dominated the fight.
He certainly has.
But he shouldn't take this kid too lightly. This kid's knocked out 4. Right. He has knocked out all 4 of his opponents.
Oh, a big guy like that can hurt you, no question. Just wait. You can wait for that overhand right. It's coming out of nowhere.
Well, I'm seeing McNeil that I thought I might see. Now, he's coming back here in the 3rd round. He's been down twice, and he's in there winging his punches.
Brian's still fighting defensively, still keeping those gloves high.
Well
he should.
As well he should. That's the mark of a good fighter. Don't take anything for granted. When you're fighting a guy who's knocked out all of his opponents, then you don't take anything for granted, no matter how many times you've hurt him. Charlie Dwyer separates the fighters. McNeil's coming back in this round, Fred Barry.
No question. Ooh, a low blow by Barbosa. Hard not to when he's giving away that much height.
Come on, Tony!
overhand
Nice
right by Barbosa.
Barbosa.
Sorry.
This McNeil impresses me.
He's a tough
He's been
kid.
down twice, but he
No
impresses me.
question.
No, he took those punches from Barbosa. I don't know many fighters that got up after being
A
hit
lot of
like
fighters
that.
would have stayed down that second time. No question. He's a tough guy.
Anthony McNeil from the Bronx, New York in the yellow trunks. Brian Barbosa in the striped trunks. Barbosa had McNeil down once in the first, once in the second. We are in the third round. McNeil is coming back somewhat.
Well,
Showing great
a little bit of a
resiliency
fight
here.
of it this round.
Oh, yeah.
Brian's way ahead at this point.
No question about that. Brian Barbosa in the striped trunks. Anthony McNeil in the yellow trunks. Round 4 of a 6th round. McNeil's been down twice, once in the first, once in the second round. McNeil's knocked out all of his opponents. He's 4-0, 4 knockouts.
Ooh, a right hand to McNeil.
For someone who's been down twice, McNeil is showing no fear. He's wading in. And Brian being Brian. Brian coming at you like the tide. Keeps coming at you. Keeps coming at you. Throwing. Fearless. Excellent condition. Wants respect.
Brian can throw hard with either hand, can't he? He's taking a little punishment to get inside. He's got to take a few shots.
Brian took an uppercut. Then he wanted to show McNeil he could throw one too, and he caught McNeil on the way in. Then he caught him with a left hook, a left to the stomach, a left to the chin. Barbosa showed some ability there to escape punishment.
Hey, this guy came to fight, no doubt about it.
This Anthony McNeil is not a fighter, the usual fighter. He only fought 4 fights. I told you he had over 50 amateur fights.
Amateur fights.
So he is showing a lot of.
Put some weight on, he could be
a lot of ring generalship.
He can go up in weight class and still be impressive.
Referee Charlie Dwyer separates the fighters as they get tangled right above our microphone.
Charlie's got his work cut out tonight. With every swing, Barbosa tries to say goodnight.
Brian Barbosa.
Get that stool in there. It shouldn't happen.
End of round.
He doesn't want to sit, huh?
4.
Brian opted not to sit down.
As we look in the corner of Brian Barbosa, he's standing up.
Yeah, interesting strategy.
Defiantly. He's defiant.
Yeah.
Brian told me, I am here tonight to prove something. I am going to prove that I am the best fighter in Rhode Island. I'm going to prove that I'm of championship quality. I'm going to prove that no one can step over my line. And I'm going to prove that in dramatic fashion. He says, this is my night. He also said to me at one point, he came down here on Saturday, the day before yesterday, and just walked around the convention center. And he said, this is my place. They should rename this the Barbosa Center. He said, because when I get through with my fight, that's what people are going to think of this place. So that's the confidence this man exudes.
Wonderful, wonderful attitude. You know, and you can't say it won't happen. He could wear a belt someday.
But I must tell you, Anthony McNeil looks like he's in pretty good shape. Right? We are in round 5 of a 6-rounder.
2 rounds to go.
Anthony McNeil from the Bronx, New York in the yellow trunks. Brian Barbosa in the striped trunks.
Anthony didn't come all this way not to fight.
Anthony's been down in round 1 and round 2. Came back convincingly in round 3. Is here to fight, putting up a great. This is really a brawl, a Pier 6 brawl. Nothing cute about Brian Barbosa. He's coming right at you, right in your face. So far, 3 of our matches have gone the distance, and they were very close fights, evenly matched quality fights.
I didn't think this one was going to go the distance, Frank, but now I'm beginning to think it will. McNeil's a tough competitor. He has to know, though, after those first 2 10-8 rounds, that he needs a knockout, and that's going to be a tall order. As much sting left in Brian's punches. He's a little tired.
It's a 6-round fight. This is round 5. Barbosa had McNeil on the canvas in round 1 and round 2. McNeil came back strong. McNeil undefeated. 4-0, 4 knockouts. From the Bronx, New York, a tough kid. And a real nice kid in Sonata. I might add that. I was talking to him yesterday with his manager and his trainer. They fully expected to come here and get a first-round knockout. I said, you're in the wrong venue. I said, you don't know Brian the Bull Barbosa. They says, no, we know. We're coming in, and our fight was a great fight. I said, well, you're going to be in for all you can handle tomorrow. That's the end of round 5. As I see McNeil gave Barbosa a respectful pat on the back as he went back to his corner.
Brian gave him a high sign.
But that's a mark of respect. After you gain the fighter's respect, they'll make some kind of a gesture. Yeah. Barbosa didn't accept it too gracefully, but I might add that that's Brian Barbosa. He was being Brian because he didn't come here to be respectful, and he didn't come here to be nice. He came here to win a fight, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's winning this fight.
No question. He's one of the old style, isn't he?
We are here for CityLife Productions, Joe Caprio producing, and the Championship Productions, Frank Caprio and Jim Birchfield. And I'm Frank Caprio.
And I'm Fred Berry.
And we are at the Rhode Island Convention Center for the boxing, the first time ever in the Rhode Island Convention Center. And we are in round 6 of the 6-rounder between Brian the Bull Barbosa in the striped trunks and Anthony McNeil of the Bronx, New York in the yellow trunks. Round 6, 6th and final round. McNeil's been down twice, first 2 rounds. Brian not resting on his laurels.
Don't grab.
Brian not resting on his laurels. Now McNeil knows that he has to knock out Barbosa to win this fight, and that's exactly what he's trying to do.
He's going to try to take him out.
And Barbosa better be careful because this kid can punch.
He can punch, it's right.
be a standing 8 count.
He's hurt. He's hurt. Ryan's hurt. Ryan's hurt. Uh-oh. He's hurt. He's hurt. Ryan's hurt.
Barbosa appears to be hurt.
He's hurt, and there's a lot of time left.
This is exactly what McNeil's... This is exactly what McNeil's corner was talking about. This kid has got dynamite in both hands. Brian Barbosa better dig deep down inside. Brian is holding on for dear life.
He may be wrong, but he's got to do it.
Hold on for dear life. McNeil much the fresher at this point.
Once, he's got to do it. He's got to do it. I hate to see him clinch, but he's one good shot, and he's out of here. He took a point.
You're taking a point away from Brian Barbosa.
He needs the time to clear his head.
For holding.
He's out on his feet, Frank. There's still a lot of time here. Now he'd rather lose points than lose the fight. He's got to do it. Actually, as crazy as it is, that's the right moves. He's going to get knocked out if he doesn't clinch. Attaboy, Brian. Attaboy. He's got to do it. He can boo all night long. He's got to do it. This fight.
Brian desperately trying to hold on.
He scored one round at a time.
Brian is desperately trying to hold on to weather the storm.
Stay awake and he'll win this
Brian
fight.
stays on his feet, he wins the fight. He is in terrible trouble. This is where hot shows. Brian moving from left to right.
I think he's got a little second win. I don't care if he takes 2 points away. He's got to do it.
Anthony McNeil with thunder in both hands. Came here today to win. Brian holding on.
That's it. He's
Brian
getting his
dancing,
win,
moving.
He might make it now. He's getting his win. He's got to do it. He's got to do it.
Brian switching to southpaw.
He's got to do it. He's going to hold it. He's going to make it.
There's the warning for the end of the round.
This game is scored one round at a time. Remember that.
And there's the end of round 6. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian the Bull Barbosa was out on his feet in the 6th round. He was out. He showed tremendous heart, tremendous courage. He didn't go down. He held on. He poured. He got penalized a point. That's going to be a 10-8 round for Anthony McNeil, but I still think that Brian Barbosa is going to win this fight.
Frank, Brian Barbosa fought the cleverest round of his life by staying on his feet in that round. You can clinch all night long. You can take points all you want. This game is scored one round at a time.
This fight cannot be judged. This fight cannot be judged on one round. Barbosa took, in my judgment, took at least 4 of the 6 rounds, 2 by knockouts, and the fans that really have to know that you can't judge this fight on one round.
No. This is that was the cleverest round of his life.
I told you when this fight began that this fight would be a war, and my prediction has come true. This fight was a war. I knew this Anthony McNeil came here to fight, and he gave Barbosa all that he could handle.
This fight almost begs for a rematch, Frank.
You have to remember this name, Anthony McNeil, and also obviously remember Brian Barbosa. Brian fought a great fight. Except what happened with Brian was he got too callous. Brian forgot that he was fighting a guy who knocked out all of his opponents. He knocked out 4 of his opponents. And he came in with thunder in both hands.
Give Brian credit. When he was hurt, he understood how to survive.
We're talking to the ring doctor who tells us that Brian is okay, but he's groggy. He's still groggy, and it's almost a minute and a half after this fight. Anthony McNeil with TNT in both hands. Brian Barbosa, Brian the Bull, showed that he is the Bull. Got callous in the 6th round. Maybe he should have learned something from this fight, Fred Barry.
Oh, I think so, without a question. I mean, Brian took an awful beating against the ropes when he turned his back over there. You know, not all the fans will appreciate it, Frank, but...
Majority decision. Scores the fight 26-24. Judge San Martino scores the fight 26-25. Judge Paolino scores the fight 26-26. And the victory goes to the man from Manatee, Puerto Rico.
Brian Barbosa, the winner by majority decision. Brian Barbosa, the winner by majority decision. We are here with Anthony McNeil, who just fought Brian the Bull Barbosa in one of the most exciting fights we've seen around here in many a moon. As you know, Brian the Bull Barbosa had McNeil on the canvas in the first and second rounds. McNeil came back strong, so tremendous grit. Now, Anthony, I might tell you that before this fight, I warned everyone that this was going to be a war. Tell us what you think about this fight.
Well, the fight was a good fight. You know, he was coming, and I started slow, and I got caught. And so I had to come back and give it all I got to try to win the fight.
Did you think you won the fight?
I think I did enough. The referee should have stopped the fight when he turned his back. And he was obviously wasn't fighting the last couple. He was just holding on.
Anthony, in the last round, it looked like a Duran no mas. It looked like he was quitting on you for a minute there.
Right, I thought he was too, and the referee gave him time. He gave him time to recover, you know, by holding me back. I thought he was going to stop it or whatever, but he let him go
Anthony,
on.
I said to Frank that this fight begs for a rematch. That'd be interesting to you, I bet.
Yes, it would. It would.
Would you be interested in a rematch?
I would.
Anytime, any place.
Not here.
You want a rematch?
In the city, I'll fight him anywhere but here.
Well,
Take him out of both our turf. Off both our turf, we'll fight.
well, I would tell you that Jim Birchfield and Frank Caprio would offer you a rematch. I don't know if Brian would accept it right here in Providence, Rhode Island. Now, I must tell you this. In all fairness, I must say this to you.
He can bring his New York judges in.
I must say this to you, that I know you're disappointed because you didn't win. And I know you feel you won the fight, but you were down twice, once in the first round, once in the second round. And you know that those fights, when you're down twice, that's a 10-8 round. So I think you have to admit, this was a close fight. Now, you think you won, and I'm sure Barbosa thinks he won, but I don't think anyone could say that anyone won this fight lopsided. And I must give you all the credit in the world because you were decisively beaten going into that 6th round. And there was only one way you could win, and that was by a knockout. And you came out and you almost pulled it off.
I want to see it again.
If you watch it on the tape, you'll see.
Listen, we're going to watch this on the tape. We're going to send you the tape, and I want to extend my congratulations to you. As I told you yesterday, I think you're a wonderful fighter. I think you're a great guy. I met you for the first time yesterday. I want to welcome you to Providence. Championship Production welcomes you. I want to see a fight back here. You can bring in your own judges. We're going to have you fight back in Providence because we like your style.
Okay,
Nice
I'll
fight,
be glad
nice
to come
fight.
back.
Nice fight, Anthony. Very impressive.